We are out here.
Today, we've compiled 10 of the best Edison format duelists, highest elo, most active, most powerful duelists. A lot of these duelists have top 3, top 2 tournament showings. And we're going to do a 5v5 crew battle. That's what's happening today. Make sure and follow us on Twitch if you like what we're doing today, and make sure and follow us on YouTube because our YouTube is litty. It's fucking dope.
It is Liddy.
No cap.
I'm excited.
I'm excited too. This is going to be a lot of fun. What's a cool font? Lobster Crew Battle. That's a cool font.
We're gonna do this. You just described as Settlers of Catan style, but I think that is accurate. Like A, B, B.
Yeah.
First person gets one pick, second person gets two picks, and it alternates two picks each. Makes it a little more
Until
fair that way, and yeah.
until the end. So we're going to go ahead and flip a coin. James, I need to know, do you want heads
Rock,
or do you want tails?
rock. Um, Heads. I'm gonna call heads.
Treetop
I don't.
Duelist.
Can the stream see the
Yeah, they can.
the RNG?
Oh, they can see it. They can see it. So you're going to call heads. We're going to flip it again because it loaded the page on tails, but we're going to flip it again because that doesn't count. All right.
What did I call heads?
Yeah. All right. Here we
Okay.
go. Here we go, stream. It was tails again. So I get the
Okay.
first pick. I get the first pick.
All right. I
All right.
accept it.
All right. So for my first pick, I will be selecting
Pick one.
Duelist Hydro Pump. Now you get picks 2 and picks 3, James. Choose wisely.
This is tough. Tell him why you picked Hydro Pump.
I picked Hydro Pump because he's currently the rank number 1 player. And he has, I think, the most tops. So,
You might be right.
yeah.
So you just went with a cold, hard statistical analysis there. No feeling, no friendship.
Yeah, this is not about friendship. You will see in the later picks. This has nothing to do with
I feel that.
friendship.
I feel that.
This is only about winning,
Yeah,
and there's no fun to be had here. Only
I feel that.
victory. All right, James. I need to hear your second pick. Who's it
All
gonna
right.
be?
I'm gonna tell you my first pick. I'm gonna go with the man who just came hot off a impressive performance with an underrated deck. I'm gonna pick Jikes. He just won with that zombie deck. Showed a lot of skill and chutzpah, I would say. We were very impressed with the level of play. I think he's gonna do me solid. I think that my next pick is going to be this might catch a lot of people by surprise, but I like his ethic. I like his energy, and I'm gonna go with Souls Manic.
All right, all right. You got Souls Manic, and you got Jikes, and now I get 2 picks, and you've left me a lot of hype duelists, a lot of
Hmm.
exciting duelists to choose from. I
Yeah, are
guess
you excited by these folks?
I'm, you know, a little
Okay.
bit intrigued, a little bit,
Okay.
confused, emotionally disturbed.
Don't be confused.
Honestly,
Do
I'm
not be afraid.
depressed by these choices. Just kidding. Just kidding. These guys are all great. Let's see. Let's see. This is
Sorry to
tough.
anyone who didn't pick, by the way. I fuck with all of you guys,
Yeah,
but
this
I'm trying
is
to win.
this is for content, everyone. This is for content. Just keep that in mind. I think my next pick is gonna have to be Roghnach. He's hot off his first top 8, and
Okay.
he's honestly proven himself in the ladder
He's a
grind.
grinder.
He's a
He's a
grinder,
grinder for
dude.
sure.
He understands the metagame. He understands his deck very, very well. And I think he always comes with some heat. So I'm gonna have to
He
pick
does have the
Roghnach.
heat. He has the
Yes.
spice and the heat.
Yes. Yes. Let's see. For my third pick. For my third pick. I'm going to pick James Ark. Just kidding. I'm gonna pick
That would be too powerful. Our powers can never be existing on the same team.
Facts. Facts. I'm gonna pick Duelist MMF for my third
I
pick.
think that's a solid pick. I think that's a
Yeah.
solid unbiased pick.
That was a randomly generated selection, but yes,
Yeah,
very. That's
you
why
just
it was
backed
unbiased.
RNG.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
RNG'd this pick. No cap. Okay. Now you're up. Now you're up. I've got my starting three. I've got my starting three, but you know,
So these are my last two, and then you get the one person remaining,
I get
right?
the one person remaining. So you determine my last pick as well. Will it be a tactical decision, or will you also be hitting the Magic 8 Ball app on your cell phone?
There are gonna be some tactics for sure. Well, my so Keegan pick three, you had MMF. For my pick three, I'm gonna go with another duelist that just had a hot finish, recency bias all the way. I'm gonna go with ProStorm. Hero
Hmm.
Master.
Understandable, and respectable. Honestly,
Thanks. I
because
respect it.
because
Thank you for respecting it.
he is a powerful duelist. There's nothing to be said there.
Jaina or Mika, who is gonna have the honor of being last pick here? No disrespect to either of you.
Honestly,
Monsters of a player.
I'm gonna be honest. I wanted to pick Jaina earlier, but I had some
You want
stipulations.
Jaina?
I had to have some. Yeah.
Wait, I don't know if that makes me want to take Jaina from you or let you get what you want.
Oof. You know.
Why? Tell me why you want to pick Jaina. Sell me on Jaina.
Well, okay. So the reason I wanted to pick Jaina is Jaina has one a YRS and
Okay.
got top three in our recent Pump King of Games tournament. You can watch the coverage of that on our YouTube channel. Make sure and check that out if you're in the chat and you're just hearing about us for the first time. Definitely check out our YouTube channel; it's pretty poppin'. But yeah, and she's just had solid performances all around in tournaments, which is what I think matters in high pressure situations like this one. What
That makes
makes
a lot of
you
sense.
what makes you think I wouldn't want Jaina, James? Hmm? Is there a
Hey, that's maybe the question I should be asking, but all that being said, you made a really strong case, but I'm gonna go with Mika, and I'll tell you why.
all right?
Um, Mika, aside from MMF, we're probably also gonna ask some random ruling question at some point during this crew battle, and I want any potential bias on my side. I want rulings in my favor. I want slow play warnings to your players. I want Mika to be the most corrupt judge of all time.
All right.
And
All right, fair
I
enough.
think Mika's a cool guy and has been actually putting in some work. I've taken some L's to Mika before, and
Same.
and I think
Same.
I think I think they can take it there.
Honestly, I don't think there's a weak duelist on this list, except for maybe you.
Absolutely not.
Definitely
No, no,
you.
no, no,
Definitely, you're
definitely not.
probably the
That's
lowest pick. I had you pick 10, but we could have replaced you with I don't know, one of the other guys on the Discord randomly selected. No big
22 money.
deal. Uh,
Actually, I think we're 1-1 now.
okay, okay, that's
Yeah,
expected from a duelist of your caliber.
he is my exact caliber.
All right, cool. Let's figure out the brackets. I get Jaina. Very excited. I couldn't have asked for a more exciting team.
Powerful squads for sure.
This is some crazy, literally insane
I'm
needs to
excited to see
be
what happens.
in a fucking asylum. Most of these duelists have probably killed
This needs to
someone.
be an asylum. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
yeah,
Are
agreed.
the duelists ready, James? Have you conferred with them?
They are ready. They said their Roghnach is currently hosting. ProStorm was, getting his performance enhancing Yu-Gi poppers or whatever.
Ah, I see. I see. Yes, he was acquiring his performance enhancing uh, drugs. Hydropump says Team Keegan hype. You know what, Team Keegan, yes, maybe, but I actually think we need team names. Does your team have a name, James?
Ooh, that's tough. That's tough.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, it's not that tough. It's it's not rocket science. I mean, we're just coming up with
Do you
team
have one
names.
in mind? Do you have one in mind?
I mean,
I'm gonna buy myself
I
time.
have one in mind. I do, but
Okay.
I don't want to accidentally take your team name. You know what I mean? I don't want to
That's
step on
not
your.
possible.
Do you? I don't want to step on your toes if you've already thought of one.
No,
Maybe
my
like
toes. You can't step on them.
maybe you have one in your mind that you're thinking of.
I don't know.
All right, all right, all right, all right. My team is gonna be Team Best. That's the name.
His name. You
It's
should have thought about that one a
no
little
that
longer, if you
it's
ask me.
literally we are literally the best team. That's just how it works. Team Best. Literally team better than your team. That's the name of my team. All right. Now your team name, James. What's it gonna
You
be?
know what? I'm taken back to actual factual 2010 real quick. In even the thread I have linked, my man Wow Wink. I had a team back then, and much like Best, we had a kind of confident name. It was Unstoppable. So I'm gonna be Team Unstoppable. So it's Team Best against Team Unstoppable. We both think pretty highly of
Team
ourselves.
Best versus Team Unstoppable. I mean, mine's a little better for branding. Work better on our.
No,
It's gonna look
we can't be
nicer on
stopped.
our crew battle
Yeah, the Card Goodman
trophy.
cinematic universe.
The trophy that we're gonna get after we
Um,
win this crew battle. But Team Unstoppable, a respectable
NFT
name.
digital trophy.
A respectable name, I
Um,
guess. It's all right.
They are hosting now, or Roghnach is hosting now. So if we want to hop over to DB, and
Exciting,
we
exciting.
can return to this if we need to.
We shall be
Oh, we'll
returning.
get to
You
it.
losing this crew battle 05 is gonna send you into like this like spiral which you'd never recover from.
Yeah, no, I don't think that's the case at all. Both, I don't relate to the Joker character, and I mean, I'm not losing because look at the name. You might be best,
Unstoppable.
but we're unstoppable. It's like I don't know, like you can be better than us, sure. Like you want to be better than us, you take it, but we are not going to stop us.
All right, it's time to begin. ProStorm versus Roghnach. Round one. I'm stoked to see what these duelists have brought. I know that they both have a wide range of decks. Roghnach with a wide range of decks that include the card Treeborn Frog, and ProStorm just in general having a wide range, so that'd be hype. Yeah, I gotta update the crew battle round one. ProStorm versus Roghnach. There we go. Ooh, Upstart Goblin from ProStorm. Have we seen this from him before? Have
I
we,
don't
James?
remember if his deck played upstairs.
I don't think it did.
Or commentary. I don't know. It depends depends what deck he's using. I've seen him use a few different decks before.
Facts, facts. But that's a little different. Setting a monster turn one. You don't see that often from like a hero deck, maybe.
Sure.
Classic. As expected, Roghnach with the turn one substitute.
So just a substitute into the swap,
No
maybe this
attack.
means he has a salvage or another substitute. Because usually, unless you're really desperate to get going, you want to save that substitute for max value and like be able to tribute multiple monsters.
Oh.
Whoa, dragons.
Oh, no, no, no. Oh, no, no, no.
Whoa, just going for damage. Fuck it.
This
You
is.
have you have a Fader Gores? No, you don't.
Oh, he does
Oh,
have
you
a
do. Okay.
Gores,
Well, you
but
do.
he's gonna play it on the Red Eyes attack.
Just doesn't
Interesting.
want to take the damage, I suppose.
I don't know if that's a bit of a misstep or not, but a 3,000 monster is actually pretty hard
Well, he,
for.
he could have also not swung with the White Knight if and then you might just get kind of stuck.
I'm gonna be honest. There is no world in which in which he doesn't attack with the White Knight. I'm gonna be honest, but yeah, I mean, I get that. I get that. There's no
I'm just
world.
saying.
Also, the Gore's kind of doing more or less the same thing as sitting in your hand when it's just gonna get run over. But hey, maybe Roghnach has some counterplay. Maybe a cold wave here. Maybe a heavy storm. Huh? Dark Dust
Dark
Spirit?
Dust Spirit.
Maybe.
Yeah. Oh,
Perhaps.
okay. Well, at least stopping the kind of like advantage train that, and it's not sent to the graveyard now. So even if he gets a Wyvern, it won't be able to get revived, Call the Haunted, etc.
Yeah, I think Roghnach is gonna try to summon the Swamp Frog. Yep, exactly. Removing the Red Eyes and then planning next turn to remove the White Knight Dragon.
Okay, and he does elect to send. I thought here, Raunik in particular often likes to make a play like this and then use priority to bounce. Um, because if he does this and he sends the Reborn Frog, say ProStorm had something like a book to chain to that effect on the swap, then that would kind of let's say cuck using the modern slang, that would kind of cuck Roghnach.
Yeah, book or torrential or burst breath even would have been a pretty big blowout there. Uh, so
Yeah.
so I don't know. I think that those three cards, it was a slight error because you don't really need the second Treeborn in this matchup. I think it was a slight error to not, use priority to
It's just
remove.
hoping they don't have it, but I'm not mad at that either necessarily.
Oh, I'm
It
mad.
thins your deck by the one.
Oh, you're not mad because
As your
ProStorm's
player,
on your
bro.
team. Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, as your player, you guys fucking up. It's up to you.
I should. I don't know,
You should
man.
have given him better pep talk.
I don't know. He's looking like he can handle this. He's got a Caius coming down next turn. That's gonna get rid of
That doesn't matter.
the White Knight, and then all the
I don't
pressure's
care about
gone.
that.
Oh, I think you care. I think once you realize that all your
No, he
dragons.
he drew for turn Solemn Judgment, so
Oh, is that what he drew? Is that Solemn Judgment?
mhm.
Little
Yes.
did you know, he has also Cold Wave. He was saving it. I believe it. The draw for
No,
turn
he
was Cold
wasn't.
Wave. Okay,
Okay.
this is just a precursor. He'll Cold Wave next turn. I promise. I
This is
swear.
appetizing.
All right, bringing back your boys. Hoping to maybe get some infinite Caius action going on. Just kidding.
Oh, okay. Maybe finding that storm or
Shuffling back, maybe setting up a dupe lock. I feel like that'd be a little too. Honestly,
I think the Caius here makes a lot of sense.
yeah, just
But
to
I mean,
stem the bleeding,
finding
because
a trap here would also be pretty good.
it would be. The dupe lock is too rough to go for in the face of three back row. I think you run into oppression, you run into like a bunch of other shit. So,
Right, right, right.
so I don't know.
I wouldn't be surprised if one of those is oppression. Although well, the first two he specialed the swap, so I guess one of those it would have gotten proc then probably
Yeah,
because the bounce Caius is pretty odd.
I'm gonna be honest. I think one of the back rows is Heavy Storm.
One of ProStorm's back rows,
Yeah, I think one of Pro Storm's
just
back
based on
rows,
his name.
just based off the way this game has gone. Like nothing's been activated, and it's kind of sus, you know.
Well, also an attack hasn't been made.
True, true, but historically, okay. So the Book of Moon was the
Okay.
third back row. That makes sense. Otherwise, I
Yeah,
think
it
it would have
wasn't set
been.
at the time of the yeah.
Yeah, Roghnach deciding here if he's gonna go
He
for
also did
his.
not clarify battle step, but I don't think that Roghnach usually main decks Mirror Force even, so
I also don't think that Roghnach is, you
okay.
know,
Okay.
upset by this.
No, I mean you're a little bit bleeding cards by doing this, but
I mean, it's
at
a
the
two.
same
It's a
time,
two
both
for
players are
two.
so
It's a 2 for 2. Plus the Caius gives you
right. The
positioning.
diva and pitching the diva there.
Uh,
I mean, if he's pitching diva, maybe that means he has a second diva.
that's either that or a second salvage.
It's hard for me to imagine diva being the worst card in your hand in that situation.
I mean, Raunic's hand's busted. I already know it. I know his hand's busted.
You know it?
I know it. Oh, I know. I know. Because he's on my
The
team.
thing is,
That's just the way it is.
yeah. Well, I mean, now that right. Well, we knew he had that, so it was like that, the diva, and another card, which could be something like a brain control, even. You know?
Well, also Raunic's radar, it's
Okay, so
probably
he does the priority bounce.
he does. That Royal Oppression is one of the opponent's sets. However, we're not really seeing that at all.
Yeah. See, in that situation,
Hmm.
are you fucking with the priority bounce?
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. I think
Are
you.
you?
Yes, absolutely. If your Swap Frog hits the field, I'm priority bouncing the Caius every single time. Because what's the
But
problem with
against
that?
poor back row, it's like, aren't you just gonna like summon it into a bottomless? Like, I feel like keeping it on the field is
Well, he
crucial
flipped
in
it.
this
He flipped
situation.
it into a bottomless this turn and didn't get bottomless.
That's different.
No, it's not. It's the same. Um,
No, but when you summon it and then you have to try to target one, like then you're burning your normal summon that turn.
well, if he
I wouldn't have bottomless the flip there, I don't think.
well, if you know his hand is Subsitoed and you know he can go priority bounce, then you're just
Maybe he
risking.
just wasn't expecting the priority bounce.
Yeah, I guess. I guess you're just risking like bleeding more back row.
I mean, I feel like the way like I don't know. I mean, I don't think that Ronick is necessarily going to do this. Like getting the Kai's back is fine. I just feel like if you're like he's probably not going to summon the Kai's right now. So if that's the case, why not just have kept it on the field and try to do more damage and not risk like a torrential, etc.
Because you can save it in case ProStorm ever draws a threat to banish.
But don't you presumably have other threat answers? Like,
Maybe not. Maybe his hand
I
sucks.
guess so.
I'm gonna be honest. Maybe the Caius is a necessary piece of removal to loop. And honestly, just adding back a banish is optimal there. I feel like, just ensuring that you have that piece of interaction. ProStorm said drew all dead
Draw
cards in
the
this
dead
matchup.
cards
I honestly don't know
in
that
what
there's
MST Storm.
5 dead cards in this matchup. Does it play Cold? I don't know.
MST Storm Grenade.
I guess if you play Trunade, yeah. Um, there's the Spined Gilman.
Okay, so it bounces the Gilman. Okay. It bounces the Treeborn.
If he had switched to all of his dudes, this might have been Is this lethal? Nope. Okay, so there's the Mirror Force.
Yeah, I was thinking that, I mean, not that that's really a dead card, but it sort of is in this the way he's been playing.
It's possible
Yeah,
one of
isn't it?
his recent draws was another Book of Moon.
Yeah, that's true. Roghnach might want to be careful about playing into a torrential, but I think he's capable of realizing that.
Yeah, I mean, virtually right now he's up a lot of cards, and literally, but virtually and counting the dead cards as well, he's up quite a few cards. So as long as he doesn't like throw away too much into a torrential, he's fine. But he does need to do something. Giving this dragon deck too much time is not.
I mean, it's funny I say that because it's like now if you get torrential, I mean you still up cards. Oh, you just didn't use effect. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, I see that. I see the effect not being used.
It could be Starlight Road too. You could, and like if you hit one, it's still the opportunity torrential. I don't know.
I think not hitting one is saying ProStorm you can no longer activate Future Fusion, which is one of the ways that he could maybe get back into this game.
Well, yeah, but if one of them is like MST, he could still. I mean, it's a favorable trade, but
This could be a pretty big moment for a torrential from ProStorm. If Roghnach decides to go for the Caius, Chainlink
right.
to torrential.
If he held it this whole time, that is a oh,
Unfortunately, that won't clear the
that just
frogs.
kills both monarchs.
It will kill both monarchs. So that's not it's not the worst trade.
It's not bad. No,
I
I mean
can't be unhappy with that.
saves you from dying unless you just special to swap. But
That too. That too. That burst breath would have been insane earlier, but I mean, hey, it was pretty good here too.
I'm not mad at it.
Yeah. An upstart
Okay,
goblin.
okay. Didn't get back the totem. I mean, maybe one of the ways you were gonna get back in this is by hitting a red med off that upstart, but I feel
We
like
don't really know if ProStorm had another monster that could summon the red man either way. So
well, he had the totem. That's what I meant. Like he could have got back the totem, hoping to hit.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I think that's too big of a risk. You know.
Yeah, it's only two red med left too. I think this is Drago.
Yeah, I think so too. It's either Drago or Masked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if he drew the upstart for turn, I feel like it's more likely that he had the Drago the past turn.
Yeah. There's a solemn. Yep. And
That's
that makes
not
sense.
bad. So that's probably what he drew off the upstart.
Yep.
I mean, the thing is, I mean, Roghnach's deck is very threat dense, but especially with salvages and stuff. But like, he's been through 3 monarchs, so
It's not unrealistic for the dragon deck to grind out all the monarchs. It's possible, I will say,
I don't know
but
about all of them. I mean, he's got 6 a dead, 16 a dead. Yeah, I mean, I think he definitely has more monarchs for sure.
brutal.
Okay.
A brutal game
All
one.
right, so
Game
hard for
two.
me. I think it must be Starlight Road, MST, something like this. I wonder if it was Starlight Road Storm. He could have maybe triggered itself, but it wouldn't have been able to kill dupes anyway. So
Yeah, I'm really curious about that game. I really, really am curious what his 4 back row are. In any case, maybe all 4 of those cards get sided out here for game two, which I can't
I
imagine
hope so.
they'll stay in for. Roghnach is going to have a bit of a harder time because when the dragon deck is all like good cards versus your deck, that's when it starts to become really scary. So I think these next 2 games, Roghnach's going to have some heat. in order to come back from this.
I would maybe have to take a look at how ProStorm drew in that first game because like slamming all your stuff onto the field is not a bad strategy against frogs. I mean, sometimes that's like one of the ways to take game one. It may have not been correct with that hand. I'm not sure.
He didn't have to do
Well,
it
anyway, we're moving into game two.
till he had Drago. I agree with that. He didn't really have to do anything till he had Drago, and that's usually the game plan. Dragons versus frogs, but we'll see if ProStorm's able to adapt here for game two. He's going to be on the play, which is really big.
You might see cards like Rivalry, maybe Massive Restrict. I mean, maybe more Oppressions.
Honestly,
Oppressions
you
certainly
might
better
even
against
see
Diva Prog and
stuff like Yamada Dragon, stuff that's
Yamana Dragon pulling the rug.
very fierce. And pulling the rug is another really, really good one. Gold Sark for Future Fusion. You love to see it if you're a Dragon player or on Team
Yeah, I mean, it seems pretty
Unstoppable.
unlikely that Roghnach is gonna deal too much damage over the next two turns. So
This
that
is definitely one of the matchups where Gold Sark is at its best because you can't really get OTK'd. That's just
though we might see a Vanity's Fiend get dropped on the field, and that would
ooh, yeah, that would change things quite a
hurt
bit.
the.
No cap, no cap.
But I mean, without any kind of swap or substitute attempt here, that's seeming like a pretty weak hand to me.
Perhaps it could be feigning weakness. Perhaps he drew a Treeborn and he has a Regeki break
It's
set.
like team worst, maybe.
Team better than
Team
Unstoppable.
worst hand.
Yours is like Team Stoppable, and mine's like Team Possible. You know what I'm
No,
saying? Disney
no.
Channel original. Believe. Power of friendship.
Impossible.
Yeah.
I don't want to have the possibility.
Yours is
We're
Team Stoppable versus Team. Yours is very stoppable. Like that's what you're known for.
like
You
you
know.
can possibly stop us. Like, okay, no, no, we're unstoppable. Read the name.
You know, this makes me think about Disney Channel star Kim Possible. Her name was Kim Possible. Impossible? Like what? What was impossible about it?
Hit him with the reverse.
Oh
The
my
Pro Storm on
god.
Pro Storm.
Oh my god. He did your boy like that. He did your boy like that. That the disrespect. The disrespect
I
to
mean,
Pro
if he
Storm,
had
Pro Storm.
Solemn, I would use it, right?
Uh shit, man. I don't know.
I wonder if he has Bribe. Bribe would be cool.
Positionally, Raunic's in a really bad spot because he is one exact Red Med and Drago attack away from
Oh, you're
game.
just thinking about the Minecraft chain. Yeah,
Oh
I
yeah.
don't I can't imagine I would have chained it there because
Hmm.
since I mean he didn't do any swap or substitute shenanigans the prior turn, so I think those might be like the cards you would most expect after say a storm resolves, but you are pretty sure he doesn't have them, so
But that being the case, would you not just like blind name Caius? Because if you know they don't have the starters, then you know they pretty much guaranteedly have the finishers, right? So I feel like you could deduce.
but not necessarily because it can be st like since Diva can't doesn't have any lighter darks or can't you know what I mean can't make any non-lighter darks or d does he play Gashieldon? Can he make Gashieldon here?
He could in
Okay,
theory if he
so I
has a
was thinking
diva.
that yeah, so maybe he does have a Diva or he well I don't know whatever. I'm just saying there's other stuff besides Caius that he could have been holding in hand, and even
Yeah.
with the Caius it's like he plays like what multiple as we saw
Well,
multiple Ryzen multiple Mobius, so you're
here's
just
my
taking a gamble I
other
think.
here's my
And if you lose the
other
Exploder off the Minecraft, then your Drago would die.
facts. But here's my other take. If you weren't gonna activate Mind Crush in response to Heavy Storm there, why did you set it? And even further, why did you side it in?
Well, I don't think, I mean, why do you set it in? That's complicated. Like, I don't know if I personally really like it against um Diva Prog, but like, I mean, you don't want to use a card at a bad time. Like, just because you sided the card in, like, doesn't mean you have to like play it
No, but I'm saying why would
when
you if
you
you weren't going to activate it in response to a sweeper, why overcommit into the sweeper? That's just something I'm it's crossing my mind. You feel me?
well, how did this game go? He sarked and then set, did he set two behind the Master Dragon turn one?
No, he
on.
set one, and then he set the second one on the following turn when he summoned
Well,
the
I mean, he
Drago.
wasn't expecting a flip storm, right? Like so,
Yeah, but even
and I
then,
think
like,
like setting the second, like if you're assuming that Roghnach might also side in something like MST or Dust Tornado, so like you could hope that he's gonna hit the Minecraft and you're
mm,
left with the rug.
okay, okay, use it as a bait for
I
a
mean, that's
spell
just like
removal.
classic, like why you set two instead of set one. So it's like both not expecting the pro storm, but also he hasn't really given you any information with which to. But see, here's what I'm asking though, because he didn't make the Gishonodon here, but he could have.
Yeah,
So
maybe
maybe he
he's
doesn't play it in his extra deck.
no, maybe he's just trying to accrue advantage. You know, maybe he's
Well,
just
can he
trying
also
to.
he can also make black rose here, right?
He can,
Ronick can.
he can, yeah. Um, uh,
So
I think that it's interesting that he didn't do that. I'm not really sure what his hand is or what's going through his head, but maybe he's just like, I don't want to trade my diva one for a bottomless. Like maybe that's just on his mind. I don't know. I don't get it.
well, bottom. I mean,
I
uh,
think another reason he might not want to Gishilnadon and attack over the Drago is because then ProStorm will be able to activate the Future Fusion in his
yes.
hand.
Well, that's yeah. I was thinking more like black rose pop, but yeah. I mean, the fact that he's just gonna get future fusion afterwards is definitely consideration. But now he's removing the Drago.
Which is
I mean, removing the
actually
Drago is also
weird. Why would you not remove the Mask Dragon here? I feel like that's a little bit of a slip
yeah.
up.
I mean, you can't imagine there are a lot of cards like Deep Prison, So it seems like remove Mass Dragon, then swing over the Drago, or you can try to. I feel like there's a decent chance that ProStorm has something like Oppression. Oh,
Yeah.
oh, that's it still doesn't kill the dupe, but that's pretty good.
It is pretty good.
Does it? Wait,
Yeah,
does it kill Mass
it
Dragon?
does kill Mask Dragon.
Oh, wait, maybe that's bad then.
I don't know. I mean, you get to activate Future Fusion here, so
I didn't realize it killed all your stuff too.
it does. This might be met with a Regeki. Okay, it does Tornado. Yep. That was a little bit hasty. I feel like, although perhaps
Well, I mean, but if he
ProStorm.
doesn't have the storm in deck anymore,
Yeah,
or
yeah, I guess.
I don't know, it just depends.
I just feel like as long as you hold the Future Fusion, he'll never be able to activate Treeborn Frog, which is
That is true.
kind of a
But he doesn't even have
cool
it engraved right
interaction.
now.
No, he doesn't
Right.
have it engraved, but like that's just one of those ways you can like permanently kill two Treeborn Frogs, and I think that's a better use than just trading it one for the Dust Tornado. In terms of a game plan, basically.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, he led on the storm earlier rather than like say setting Dust Tornado there. So I mean that could I mean obviously 4 or 5 turns have passed, but could have led you to believe that he didn't have it at that point.
Yeah, yeah, maybe. I mean, if it's not that, then it's Regeki Break. So you basically just
Karma cut.
yeah, you basically just say like, well, I don't think Raunik plays Karma Cut if we're basing this off his tournament top eight list. But you know, he might have had some change in insight before
I
the crew
mean,
battle.
what do you think about Ronick not using the Archer effect here?
I think it's fine.
There's more damage. I mean, like he would have been at
I
like 4K.
I think the action, like the ball is in Pro Storm's court, like he's got to do something. You know what I mean? And whether or not
Yeah, with that,
I don't know if
without the
equipping the
future
archer doesn't
fusion,
really. Equipping the archer also kind of plays into Pro Storm's Book of Moons, which might otherwise be kind of mediocre here. I think it's fine.
I mean, I think it's fine to leave the diva up if he's planning on, or just having the option of drawing a monarch and synchroing with it. I think that's not bad.
Or even
Um,
using it as tribute fodder like he did the last time. Well, I guess he used the Gilman, but yeah, I agree. Yeah, facts.
yeah, it is somewhat surprising. I mean, he has the dupe, so it's not like any of these things are at risk of being attacked over.
Interesting.
I
Oh, and
wonder why. I wonder why ProStorm chose to bring this deck.
uh, I think it has a
No,
good.
no disrespect, but it just I like it's not a deck I've seen him use very much.
I have been talking to Pro Storm a little bit in the last few weeks, and
Okay.
I know that he's been playing this deck. He played it, I believe, in an Edison local on the edisonformat.com Discord. Speaking of the Discord, join the Discord, link in the description, and also sub to our YouTube. But yeah, and so it's a deck he's been practicing, I think, a little bit behind the scenes, and he's messaged me a little bit about it. So it's not off my radar for him. I think he has a very wide range of decks he can play that he's capable of playing.
For sure. I don't think it's, also like the most complicated deck to be honest. Although this matchup in particular, I feel
Yeah, this matchup is
is
hard.
somewhat nuanced.
If you don't know what you're doing in this matchup, it will be a hard matchup for you.
Yeah.
Roghnach does not take damage here. We need to make sure he knows that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll message them. What are the teams? Madster15 would like to know the teams. Well, first off, there's Team Best. We'll hop over to this document real quick. Team Best, which is my team. To the left side of the bracket here. Roghnach, Jaina, MMF, Hydro Pump, and me. And Team Unstoppable. ProStorm, Jykes, Mika, Souls Manic, and James Ark. Here's Achaeus. Exactly what you were talking about, James. Exactly what you're talking about.
What was he talking about? That he would get tribute fodder?
Yeah, that he would use the thing for tribute fodder. Yeah.
I think which part of what I was talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact of the matter is, like, it's hard for the dragon deck to actually generate advantage without Future Fusion. Like until they can get a red med off. But like summoning a red med is like it's neutral, right? Like you lose a card, you summon it, you gain a card. So it's like unless you can use that to generate a lot of pressure or swing over a bunch of like high value stuff, it's not going to be that profitable for you.
Yeah. And also,
and Rognach's definitely not giving him a lot of stuff to like swing over.
Yeah, that's true. And also, ProStorm just hasn't drawn red med, which is like
Yeah. I mean, seemingly yes, exactly.
kind of a big deal in this matchup. So maybe he picks one up on this turn, swings things around. Like I said earlier, Roghnach's life total is actually pretty low. He's had a shitload of back row this whole game, which is kind of really difficult for the way ProStorm chose to
storm turn one, which I can't. I don't know if I mean, he probably did board out at the very least one of MST Storm. Like so. I mean, I suppose there's really not too much punish for like setting a turn one storm.
Also,
but
that and like especially after the way game one went, where ProStorm was like, "Fuck," and he had the dead storm. He's obviously like tunnel visioning like as a player, thinking I gotta side these out because they're gonna be dead. Roghnach switches up his game plan.
Well, not everyone is like here's what happened in the last game. Let me side based on that.
I mean, that's level 1 shit. Level 1. And sometimes level 1 is also level 3. Something only powerful duelists like myself would understand. Powerful duelist and team captain of Team Best.
You understand level 1 stuff? Is that your claim?
Well, I also understand that level 1 stuff can be 5-head as well. What is this? Blind Typhoon. So he did have Typhoon. Interesting. That means he probably could have waited on the Future Fusion. Still,
Well, it's been like 4 turns from there. I mean,
I know, but again, like
he kept the Typhoon in the deck. You mean?
Yeah, like that means
well, here's the thing here. I mean, oh,
that's bad.
I mean, if he drew the red med, then
well, the last card is Caius.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't particularly leave him in a great spot. But if it's like White Knight,
oh my god, not like
please.
This. Oh,
okay.
Thank God.
But God. What is he?
That was a sweat. That was a sweat. Oh my goodness. Oh man, that was crazy.
But I mean, unless he can.
Oh my God. Okay. Oh my God.
Damn.
That was insane.
We wanted it. We wanted it.
Imagine if that had happened though. Like imagine if that had happened. That would have been the most insane comeback of all time.
That was close.
That would have been so sick. GG's to both players. Team Best.
He had us on the edge of our seat there.
That was really hype match. That was very exciting stuff. You expect
to see. Yeah, it was Trinidad MST Road, he said.
Damn. That's brutal.